Happy Wednesday to you. We are back at Bar None in Uniontown for another fresh episode of Music Talks. I'm your host, Chelsea Rittenauer, on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Our featured guest this week needs no introduction. Everyone pretty much knows who they are. They are awesome. This is Shiva Skydriver. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
So much for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having us.
I'm really excited to talk to you guys. So, I know we don't want to spend too much time on this, but we're going to start with kind of your origin story for those out there watching on TV that may not know. So tell me how you guys kind of met, how you guys got together, and the name.
Okay.
How did it happen?
I will start that with where I started because I started taking bass lessons when I was 12 years old. And this was the first guitar teacher that I had, and I would say you could call him a clown. I for my very first bass lesson, I was so excited. It's something I wanted to do for a really long time, and showed up to the lesson, and this guy says, "Well, why do you want to play bass?" And I said, "Well, I really love Kiss, and Gene Simmons is my favorite member." And he laughed at me and basically conveyed that is not a good enough reason to want to pick up a rock and roll instrument.
Oh.
But
Well,
I stuck it out for an entire year with him just because it's something I really wanted to do, but then I didn't feel like I wasn't learning any rock songs or anything that really excited me. So after that year, it was time to find a different teacher, and we heard of Ed Skiro, so I started taking lessons from Ed Skiro. Do you want to take over?
That's not how it started completely, because your mother called me and said, "We hear you give guitar lessons." And I said, "But my schedule's completely filled. I don't have time for this. I cannot take on another student."
wow.
And then she said that your favorite band was Kiss. And I said, "Well, I think I could probably find a spot somewhere for this girl." So that's really what it was. I made a little bit of room, and then you showed up with your bass on my porch. And
The rest is history.
Now we're here,
You're here.
but in between that, so after we got to know each other and we would play music together, I would go sit in, when I was still taking lessons, I would go sit in with Ed's band once in a while, and that developed it into...
I would have students come out and sit in with the band just to give them some live experience.
Yeah.
And Kelsey was the only one that was asking kind of like professional questions, where she would say, "Hey, are we doing the live version of this song? Because I noticed on the live version they take the riff around twice after they come out of the solo." And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even know if I know how this song goes now. So she was asking those kinds of questions. So we were and putting on, and very the other students would play very well, but would concentrate on their parts. And she was conscious of playing and entertaining at the same time, even at 14 or 15 years old. So that made her stand out a little bit from the pack. And what else in between there do you want to...
When did you guys decide, hey, we should start a band together?
So we started the band in 2008.
How old were you then?
16.
Wow.
16 when we started. I was always open to playing with you or whenever you would invite me out, so I think starting a band together was kind of your idea.
I realized she could sing, and with that vocal range, all the things that could be done, and you're thinking about, at that moment, playing cover songs, and you think, wow, I've never gotten to play a Journey song because nobody can sing it.
No one can sing it.
Can't play too many Zeppelin songs because people can't sing them. So her focus and like seriousness about it, coupled with the fact that she could sing all these things, made it interesting. And I also thought it'd be really unusual to have a band where you have older people in the band and a teenager in the band, and people would probably wonder what it's all about. Yeah. And so that added to, I think, we had a lot of the same musical interests, but she was coming at it from a different perspective, so it made everything a little bit more interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then the name, so like I said, I was in high school when we started, so we had to come up with a band name, and I was learning about Shiva in one of the classes. I had never heard that name before, ever, so the name just kind of jumped out at me like, oh, that's cool. But then learning the idea behind Shiva, just initially it seemed like Shiva is the god of destroying and changing concepts and evolution. So that seemed like a cool idea to me at the time, but what's great is that it still applies to, I think it applies to the way we approach things now. Just changing concepts, breaking down old ideas, making room for new. That's how we approach everything in life, but musically especially, always open to new things, always trying to reinvent, recreate, come up with new things. So that's where Shiva came from.
Yeah, it was, the name was really some words that sounded kind of cool together, but like you said, the way it sort of evolved with the concept of the band has served us pretty well.
Very cool. So when you guys started out, were you primarily doing covers and then you decided, I mean, I know you have 2 albums out, you're releasing a 3rd one now. I mean, how did you get from, I'm assuming, starting out with covers to where you are now?
We started with covers just because right off the bat we didn't have a ton of songs of our own under our belt. But even before we started the band, I was writing things. Sometimes in the lessons, Ed would have a riff or a complete instrumental idea and then ask me to write over it. And so that was like an exercise that we would do. So we had a lot of ideas to start with. Just through the whole process, we were always writing music of our own and always incorporating those more and more.
From him being your teacher, you 2 already had a songwriting formula, in essence. You knew how each other worked.
Yeah.
So you were able to bounce back and forth off of each other very quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when did the first album drop?
So our first album, which it's here, it looks like this in the compact disc format, but that was in December of 2015. And this album, there were songs that were fairly new for it when it came out, but there were also some things that Ed and I had been playing together for a few years. So the span of time that these songs go over, it's a couple of years actually.
Probably, 5 years, I would say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know you and what you guys are about out there watching, can you kind of explain to me what your style is and what you guys typically play whenever you're out?
As for style, we're a rock band, and we kind of say like the same way, we're a rock band the same way that Metallica is a rock band, but that the Beach Boys are a rock band. I mean, at the foundation, we're a rock band, but we try, or we naturally incorporate a lot of other elements. And as for the songs we're writing, we just use elements that best fit that particular song. What else?
Yeah, I think it's not rock in that we have a certain style where everything, kind of like every song is following a certain formula.
Right.
But more like we're working on what is our style from album to album. Maybe looking at the first album had a particular approach and the second album had a little bit of a different approach.
So you can kind of hear the evolution, the musical evolution from your albums.
Yeah.
So when did the second one come out?
The second one, which looks like this, it's the red one. We color-coded them for our own peace of mind. But anyhow, this album, the second album, it's called Let Go of All You Know. It came out in December of 2018.
Wow, so this is pretty recent.
Yes.
Wow. And so if people want to get their hands on this, whether downloading it or getting hard copies, where can they find it?
Okay, we have, on our website, you can order physical copies of the CD if you would like a physical copy, but
could you tell me what that website is?
Oh, it's ShivaSkydriver.com.
Awesome.
So, and through any of our social media, you can get to the website from there as well. The albums are on YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. Those are the main streaming services, but it's on any streaming service that you would want to listen to music. And we are all for going on and listening to the albums for free. That's what we do. We have our Spotify subscription, so we pay the couple of bucks every month. But yeah, they're available on there for free.
Wow.
And you can listen
That's amazing.
to them on there.
They're available for free, people. Check out their music.
I mean, you have to subscribe to the channel, to the subscription service,
Yes.
like Tidal. So somebody gets paid.
Somebody gets paid.
We don't see any of it.
But their music is
Yeah.
free. That's amazing. Do you guys have any favorites in particular on the albums that you'd love people to listen to?
What was on this? It was so long ago.
Trip down memory lane.
Go ahead. You.
I like them all, which that's why they ended up on the albums,
Right.
because we both like them all.
Yes.
So thankfully it would be tough to pick a favorite. But I can say that a couple of songs that we get the most requests for off of our first album is a song called Tea With Me. And that was one of the first songs that we had written together. And there are no drums on that song, it's just the two of us. So it's that song represents the two of us pretty well. They all do, but it's cool that was one of the first songs that we had written, and we still feel it when we're playing it. And off of the second album, we get requests a lot for Searchlights, or we get a lot of feedback from that song. But I really like them. I think you should listen to them all. And just pick your own favorite. We like them all.
So you had mentioned something kind of interesting that I'd love to ask you about. You said, Tea With Me, there are no drums.
Correct.
And I know that you two go out as just a duo, you guys, a lot of the times.
Yes.
Are you a two-person band? I know sometimes you have a drummer. What's that about?
We, as long as the two of us are there, it's
Yeah.
Shiva Skydriver. We have different versions of the band, so we do the duo. We're going to play as a trio today.
Yeah.
We've also done 4- and 5-piece versions of the band, though,
Oh.
so just depending on what type of venue we're playing, the feel of the show for that night, we incorporate whatever musician is appropriate for the show that night.
There are some strings on this album played by our friend Clinton. And so he's played a show with us. He's going to do some more coming up. Some of the new stuff we're recording is going to have some horns on it. So that will, hopefully we'll be able to get those people to play live with us.
I know lots of horn players if you ever need some.
Great. We'll get some
Good.
Let me know.
numbers from you.
Let me know. So I can hook you guys up.
Lots of keyboards on the new stuff that we have both been playing on the recording, so we'll need somebody to do that live, and
I know.
so so yeah, it's we don't want to. I guess that's what I was saying a minute ago about not. One of my favorite bands is AC/DC, and that is they have a sound, and it's a consistent sound.
Yeah.
And I think if you're lucky enough to create a sound like that, then you should run with it for as long as you can. But I think our thing is more based around just writing and recording. We're very into the recording aspect of it. So as you add new sounds and tones and textures, the music changes, and then you have to figure out how to do that live, I guess, and who you need to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those that would love to come out and hear you guys play live, where do you typically play? You're all over the place, I know,
Yeah.
but do you have any spots that you generally, your regulars, or you go back to?
Well, first off, our entire schedule is on our website. Mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, you guys are booked.
Shiva.com.
I saw that. I
Oh, yeah.
was checking everything out before you guys came. I'm like, wow, they are booked. They are like, it's amazing.
We play about 200 dates a year, and some of those are Kelsey solo, and the rest are duo, and then as many band gigs as we can do, and as many shows as we can do playing our own music as well.
Do you guys stay in state, or do you ever do out of state work as well?
We've played in out of mostly within an hour of where we're sitting right now, but we have played in North Carolina, West Virginia. We did the Terra Alta Festival one time, and Los Angeles, so some friends
Nice.
flew us out there to do something a few
Yeah.
years ago. So
Maine.
sort of like in Maine last summer. So kind of a random collection of places outside of this area, but around this area, right where people were watching the show, Nino's in Mount Pleasant, play a lot around Greensburg, Stonewater, Parkwood, Scooby's, Prospect Lounge, Ramada.
There you go. Go check them out. Head to their website, look at their schedule, and check them out. So, a place that I know you guys have performed not in the States. Let's talk about Austria. So you were just there for a second time,
Yes.
not too long ago. Let's talk about the first time. How did that happen?
Okay. Yeah. So 2 years ago, we went for the first time. It started from a friendship that we made in Latrobe. Our friend, his name's Mario, and he is from Austria, but he works for the steel industry, and he travels all over the place working on different projects. So he was working at Latrobe Steel on a project for about a year and a half. And he would come out to the one brewery in Latrobe where we would play, just have a beer after work, and we struck up a friendship with him. I think you kind of started it by saying, "What is that accent? Where are you from?"
German? That sounds like German. Not completely, though. So yeah, he told us he was from Austria. I said, well, my family came from Austria. So he said, you have to come back and visit the homeland sometime. And a lot of times people will say that to you. The gigs we played out of state were kind of like, oh, you need to come and do this thing for us. And then people make it happen. But a lot of times, as you know, like, people will say that and it doesn't go anywhere.
Sure.
So, of course, would love to come to Austria. I don't know how that was going to happen, but would love to do it. And a couple years ago, he sent us a message and said, I'm serious about this. We're going to make this happen. So we went, last year was the first time, and we went for 2 weeks, and we played, four gigs or something like that?
Yeah.
And it went well, and they said, we'll come back next year and we'll do a little bit more. And this year, I think, was 9 shows, and they want us to come back for a month next year. So it seems to be something.
It seems to be. So you guys have like a growing fan base over there in Austria.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we got to play 2 music festivals
We did, yeah.
this summer there, and there's talk of that and expanding a little bit.
Yeah.
More next year. Croatia, they want us to play in a few shows in Croatia and Italy, and so we'll keep going back as long as it
absolutely.
keeps expanding.
Yeah, so you guys are you have some pretty big stuff in the works. So basically, if you don't know them before they get uber famous, you need to go see some of their local shows. Okay, so let's talk the third album.
Yes.
That is coming out now, but you guys are doing it a little differently.
Yes.
Correct?
Different approach for this
Explain
one.
that for me.
So we are releasing this album as a series of singles, and the first one is out. It's called Radiate. We just put it out in July. And the second one, it's called Beyond Time. It's not out yet. We do play it live a lot, but it'll be out soon. It's on its way. And we have enjoyed doing it this way just because then we can focus all of our attention into one song at a time instead of focusing on 8 songs or 11 songs at one time. It's just something we haven't tried yet, so it's nice to be able to do this differently. Each song gets its moment, gets all the attention focused at it after it's released too. So we've been enjoying this process.
How many songs do you think you'll be releasing this year?
What do you think?
Or into next year?
The next one is being mixed right now, and so that would be 2, and then hopefully 2 more this year. And so that's what's interesting about this process is that we don't know how it's going to unfold completely. So where do you what point do you get to where you decide, okay, we're going to collect these together and put them on put them all together?
So it's still up in the air. You're not really sure how many you're going to release in total. It's just
before it's collected.
It'll just happen.
It's
I like it.
Fun for us though because we don't have to wait 2 years to get new music to people. It can be every couple months a new piece comes out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So let's talk the recording process. Do you guys have a specific spot that you typically record, or how do you go about that?
we record at Ed's house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we own all the gear. We record there. We do have an engineer in Pittsburgh who does our mixing and mastering. So that's where the recording happens. And the writing, I'm just going to jump in and say the writing process.
Yeah, go for
take
it.
That.
Love it.
But the writing process for each song is different. We don't have one specific formula that we follow, which is good because I think that would get boring and things would start to sound the same.
Yeah.
Some of the songs I will write pieces on the acoustic guitar, and then Ed will both add and build on it from there. Or like I've written things on the keyboard that might just be one vocal melody, or it might be a couple different ideas, or it might be what seems like an entire song, and we both work at it from there. But like Fire, the first song on our new album, that's something that Ed wrote the chord progression to and gave it to me, and then I added the vocal to it afterward. And Radiate, the newest song that we have, that's something that I started writing right after, or as we were recording this second album. So it's kind of an older idea. I've had it for, I think, a couple of years. And I worked at it on the keyboard. And then I would just come back to it every once in a while and add a couple of lines, or like if I wanted to sit down and just play something for fun, I would keep going back to that. So after we finished this album, we were ready to write new stuff. I brought this idea in to Ed. And I know you had said it was something you were kind of thinking along those lines even before I brought it into you.
I had a sound in my head, what the next thing that we should do, what it should sound like, not necessarily a tempo or anything, but just an overall sound. And she brought this song in, and it fit perfectly with that sound. So yeah, I think all of these songs were written a little bit each different from the last. But one consistent thing is we've never, Kelsey's never come in with a song and said, here it is from beginning to end, I have it all written and play it like this. And I don't, at the same time, for years I'd be in bands and you would get together, the instrumentalists would get together and they would create something and then give it to the singer to fill in, to now fill it in with brilliant words and melodies. But I feel like a lot of times those kinds of songs end up sounding like a formula because you're writing, okay, it goes this many times and then it goes into the next part. And this stuff is more like one of us will come up with a little piece, the other one will add to it, and it sort of reveals what the next part of the song is going to be. So that's one consistent thing with all of them, is they've all been a true collaboration of, there's no way that I could have ever handed any of this music to you finished and said, here. But it was always influenced by what she put to that's a great verse. Now we need a chorus that's just as good, and then that inspires you to come up with something there.
It's really a collaborative effort between you two. Yeah. You really are a duo. Like, that's what it is. Amazing. So I'm a vocal person. I always like to talk vocals a little bit because, that's my thing. I geek out on it. So let's talk vocals. Okay. You primarily do all the singing?
Yes.
And do you sing it all?
Live, harmonize live, and then just a little bit on the recordings. If there is a harmony that's too low for her, you will hear me back in there, buried in the mix.
Yeah.
I know. High voices, and I'm like, I can't hit that note. I need to go. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about how the evolution of your singing came into play, because you were primarily a bassist,
right. When I started taking bass lessons, I had no interest in singing. It didn't occur to me that was really an option. And like I said, I would sit in with Ed's band, and I said, well, could we maybe play this one Def Leppard song? And he said, well, you have to sing it if you want to do it. And I was like, I guess I could try. I don't know.
Unless you know the guy from Def Leppard and could get him out to sing it.
The other option is I would have to sing it. I'm like, well, I'll try that first. I'll try me singing it first. So just in the lesson one day, I sang this song. I was like, that was okay. Did not know that I could do that. That wasn't bad. So then I started singing a little bit when I would sit in with Ed's band, and it kind of evolved from there. And now I'm singing full time. That's awesome. And I did a couple of like vocal training sessions to learn how to breathe correctly and where to sing from and all of that.
Well, and you're managing two things. I mean, what's it like playing the bass and then having to sing the lead vocal?
I think it's something that has kind of evolved together because from the start when I was singing, I had the bass in my, I mean, like at the first show that I was singing at, I was playing the bass. So from the beginning, I had to learn how to do those two things together. So they both evolve together, and it does kind of fit together for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of natural to be able to do both of those
It's
things
a package
together.
deal now.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I wish I could do that. I could not imagine someone throwing a guitar or bass in my hand and then I have to sing everything. I'd be like, no, just let me sing. So, awesome. Well, guys, it's been lovely talking to you. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap it up?
What do you
We
want to
have a
add?
show coming up at the Lamp Theater in Irwin on December
28th.
28th.
December 28th?
That's a Saturday night.
Saturday between Christmas and New Year's.
Nice.
And we will be playing songs from all of our own music that night, songs from these two albums and whatever else we get out this year.
Right, the new songs that are, some of them have not been written yet, so we don't know what they're going to be, but there will be brand new stuff that night as well.
And are we going to hear all original music from you tonight?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Everyone, that is a wrap for right now, but be sure to stay tuned after the break to hear some amazing music from Shiva Skydriver. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hunger exists in every county in America. More than 1 in 5 children are at risk. Armstrong continues to create awareness in our communities through Breaking Bread, our initiative to provide resources to food pantries and soup kitchens.
September is Avenge Hunger Month, and we're working to collect 60,000 pounds of food. Bring your non-perishable food donations to your Armstrong store between August 26th and October 4th.
For more information, visit us at armstrongonewire.com/breakingbread.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Shiva Skydriver.
it's gone away. Inside this temple, hide my eye and tell me, is it wrong to want to stay? Will you take me anyway? Right in here, find comfort in the fear that all my memory might keep from me the things I've come to know. Must prepare. How do I release this piece of the past that keeps chipping away at a piece of my glass? Oh, that I want badly to be so smooth, and maybe I see light when I'm looking through. Oh, inside this temple, hide my eye and tell me, is it wrong to want to stay? Will you take me anyway? Right in here, find comfort in the fear that all my memory might keep from me the things I've come to know. What we've denied and swim inside the truth you find beneath hypnotic waves inside the air. You showed to me a field of light surrounded by the fire. Cold I felt inside me wasn't there. Part of me, don't take away the pieces that remind me still to breathe. And you and I collide to find the pulse that's still alive inside. Perfect beating beat, the first and last things that you feel. We're going to play a brand new song, and Ed's going to get a brand new guitar to play the brand new song. So this, like I mentioned earlier, it's the newest song that we have. It's available everywhere for free, and it is called Radiate. what's right. How to be with Connellsville Road. How to feel the freedom of flight in the air that we're living. How to be somewhere in between, something that could be love. If ever I learn what it means, I'll let go of every bit of it. Radiating up, radiating up. How to be so quiet and calm when the world sets fire around and the heat is taking control. Can you still breathe in deeply? To be suspended in time, or to be defended in space. How to stay just one moment more in this place where my memories don't deceive me. Radiating up, radiating up. And if I fly before I'm tamed, would you feel free to be without me? You know I'm frightened still the same by my own pursuit of the laws. I'm defying how to swim inside of a body completely unknown by my own. How to be a secret inside myself, only I know that I'm living. How to be the thing that I choose, how to choose the things I believe. In a solid state I create what I feel still to be once I've left here. Radiating up, radiating up, radiating up, radiating up. We have another brand new song. That means we need another brand new guitar. This song has not been released yet, but it will be very soon. The song is called Beyond Time. Well, here I am, and thrown to what I thought I knew. But enter interruption of a magnitude to melt my core. Now I feel something from across the new my senses can observe. Unanswered questions echo and return to me with a changing face. Oh, I pray the laws of space. You weigh every strand of life I hold within me. You breathe and I receive. Create something beaming beyond time. Does the same heat of the sun scratch the surface of your skin? When the fire you feel, the fire you become. Does the same sweet urn protecting me connect to where you stand? Would you open up? Would you let me in? Oh, I break the laws of space. You weigh every strand of life I hold within me. You breathe and I receive. Create something beaming beyond time, beyond mind, in this place. To feel what's real, what you face. Beyond time, beyond mind, beyond this place. To feel what's real, what's real. This next song is from our new album that we just put out in December. It's called Searchlights. I have a piece of me that walks around outside of here. He is something bold, something rare that I can share. I lived before as a child, possessed by energy. That was a while ago. Something now that speaks to me, and I'm still trying to find meaning in what I'm feeling. I'm still trying to find feeling in what I'm feeling. some vague, some sad, some to you, for it to illustrate the sight and all the sound. I have futuristic aspirations that I dream of, but I can only know what I know right now. And I'm still trying to find meaning in what we're breathing. I'm still trying to find feeling in what I'm feeling. I have 1,000,000 pieces that make up but one of me. In me 1,000 lives to make one person breathe. I have a mother and a daughter somewhere within me. They have a path to unfold. I had a pain that burned for someone that had done me wrong. They fade and my pain turns to peace. I have someone that I wish was here, but they have left me so their light can be released. 1,000,000 lives that live within me. The water, the flower, the rain. You are 1,000,000 more, and here together we are. One light, one force, one love's parade. 1,000,000 nights to just one day. One universe, one thought sensation. One wind, one air, one destination. And I'm still trying to find meaning in what we're breathing. I'm still trying to find feeling in what we're feeling. I'm still trying to find meaning in what I'm feeling, and it feels so good right now. Well, this is one of the first songs that Ed and I wrote together. It's called Tea with Me. We can have it any way you want it, yeah. Either hot or cold. You bring the leaf and I'll bring you my body and soul. We'll be sitting on the back porch restlessly. Come and have your tea with me. And if you don't want to think, we can just sit and stare. Never have a trouble or a worry or ever a care. We'll let our feet stay still and our minds run free. Come and have your tea with me. Well, you can tell me a story, I'll tell you the truth. I feel a little nervous about the wonders of our youth, but I'm feeling much better with your company. Yeah, come and have your tea with me. Do you know I've wondered about the chances passing us by? And have you ever wondered about what's more than meets the eye? Sun goes down and the moon comes up. Well, if I had enough, I'd fill your cup. But I could trade you a secret for a mystery. Yeah, come and have your tea with me. Come and have your tea with me. Come and have your tea with me. Yeah, come and have your tea with me. Oh, 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 oh. This song's from our first album. It's a fight song. It's called Nymeria. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Can I get no sympathy in this broken age? The hounds like how relentless for their hoes. Casualties and mercy plays in oblivion we rage. Could this be the end of what we know? Whoa, whoa, if we make it out alive, stay right by your side. We'll run these streets and take them from the insane. If we die tonight, give it our best fight. Blood we shed never fell in vain. I played with fire, fired rounds into the night to throw my own parade. Phantom is the jamboree, silent all their sounds to celebrate desolation that we made. Oh, oh, make it out alive, stay right by your side. We'll run these streets and take them from the insane. If we die tonight, we'll give it our best fight. The blood we shed never fell in vain. Yeah. eternity no longer. As the palms begin to fall, play the game with me for just a while. Defenders, remember, your talent is all you've got. So be the god your mind is born into the rest, to the ground. If we make it out alive, stay right by your side. We'll run these streets and take them from the insane. If we die tonight, give it up, it's fine. But we should never fell in vain.
Thank you.
Aren't they amazing? Let's get another round of applause. Yeah. Yeah. Ed, Kelsey, thank you so very much for coming out tonight. This was truly a treat for all of you out there. This is Shiva Skydriver. Be sure to check them out online. Go to their shows. They're amazing. Thank you again. All right, everybody, that's a wrap for tonight, but we'll be back next week with another fresh episode. See you then. Have a great Wednesday night. Bye.